In this English lesson, I wanted to help you learn the English phrase to put into motion. In English, when you say that you are going to put something into motion, it means you're going to start doing it. Usually it means that you have some new plans or new ideas that you're going to start to do. A good example would be this: when the school year starts, I have a lot of ideas that I want to put into motion. I have a lot of planning to do. I have a lot of things that I want to get started on. So I think about those new things over the summer. What do I want to do in my classes this year? And then when the end of August comes, the beginning of September, I put into motion all of those new ideas. The other phrase I wanted to teach you today is the phrase to go through the motions. When we say that someone is going through the motions in English, it means they're just basically doing the bare minimum, maybe at work or in a relationship. If I was to describe a colleague who was going through the motions, they would come to work, they would do their job, they wouldn't do a good job, they wouldn't do a really bad job, but they would be there. And then at the end of the day, they would go home. They would just be going through the motions. In a relationship, sometimes a husband and wife don't get along anymore, but instead of getting separated or divorced, they just go through the motions. So they still live together, they still eat together. Maybe they just don't do anything fun anymore, and that's kind of sad, but they just go through the motions. So to review, when you put something into motion, it means that you get it started. Sometimes the government will decide on new things that they want to do. Here in Canada, we don't have to show a vaccine passport to go to a restaurant anymore. So the government has put into motion the plan to ease the restrictions. So that's kind of cool. And to go through the motions means to just kind of do the basic actions at work, to not do a good job, but not do a bad job, or in a relationship to just kind of stay together, but there isn't really anything there anymore. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Anyways, let's look at a comment from a previous video. This comment is from Allah. Hello, Mr. Bob. Thanks for the lesson. You said that your hayfield is covered by water. Do you grow hay by certain type of seeds, or it grows by itself? And my response was, it is a hayfield, so it grows back every spring by itself. And I picked this comment because that answer isn't 100% correct. It's mostly correct. When I plant a hayfield, I do plant it using seeds, and then that hayfield, not sure if you can see it way in the distance over there, that hayfield will grow back every year for about 5 or 10 years. But it's usually a good idea after about 4 or 5 years to work up the ground again and to plant the hayfield again. So that hayfield down there, I planted it about 5 or 6 years ago. It's probably still good for another year or two. And then what I'll have to do is I'll have to get out my tractor and my equipment, and I'll have to work up the soil. I'll have to plow the field and disc the field, and then I'll have to plant a new hayfield. If you let a hayfield go too long, eventually it just doesn't grow back really well. There's a lot of weeds in it. Some of the varieties of hay that you have planted in it don't last a really long time. So they grow about 5 or 6 years, and then they start to, the field gets a bit thin, we would say. It starts to thin out. So anyways, talking about seeds, I'm excited for spring to come and for things to grow. Hopefully that happens sooner than later. Again, I'm talking about the weather a lot. I must really be looking forward to spring. Anyways, I'll see you in a couple days with another short English lesson. Bye.